The movie starts with showing a magician who can escape from inside any prison or vault. The name of this magician is Harry Houdini. One day, Houdini was about to jump off a bridge, tied with an iron chain. He used to escape death by performing such deadly stunts every time he jumped into that frozen lake, and thousands of people on the bridge were just looking at him in amazement. After this, we are shown the story of years ago. Here Houdini came with his wife Bess to show magic at the brothels of prostitutes. Bess announced in front of everyone present that she would handcuff Houdini and lock her in a box, after which Houdini would release the handcuffs in her hands and come out of the closed box. But a man present there started saying that your handcuffs are fake. But Houdini was no less. He said that he is fully ready to do this feat by wearing any handcuffs. The man accidentally turned out to be a cop and put a real handcuff on Houdini's hand. After putting on his handcuffs, Houdini turned back and cleverly freed himself with the help of a needle. Seeing this, all the people present there started praising him. From that day onwards, Houdini became famous throughout America with the title of Best Escape Artist. He started performing several other shows, escaping from not only handcuffs but also from metal chains wrapped around his body. One night, Bess mentions that she wants to do something else other than performing shows, but Houdini makes it clear that he does not want to return to a normal life. Instead, he wants to be the best escape artist in the world. With this, the scene flashes back to several decades earlier, when Houdini and his brother Das are looking at a travel group, performing an illusionary act. Houdini is so intrigued by the performance that he instantly started dreaming of becoming a magician and making a living out of it. And with the days passing by, he learns small tricks and earns some money from it. Houdini brings the money home to his mother and makes her happy, but his father isn't really fond of Houdini performing in public. Because of this, he leaves his house with his brother at an early age and decides to do something on his own. Together, the Houdini brothers start to perform on the streets and collect money to support their mother. A few years pass by and one day, while performing on the streets, Houdini notices his future partner Bess dancing for a performance group. He secretly watches her perform and quickly falls for her beauty and elegance. After the act, he approaches Bess and asks her if she would like to work with him, to which she accepts. From that day onwards, the two get along very well and travel around world, performing magic tricks for renowned people. Houdini's brother Das, who is still in the States, tries to copy his tricks to stay relevant. However, Houdini doesn't like this and decides to perform even riskier tricks which no one can even dare replicate. After this, Houdini and Bess go to a famous prison and meet the warden there. Houdini asks the warden to imprison himself, but the warden said that I can only put the criminals in prison. Hearing this, Houdini started making fun of his prison. Houdini said that he would easily escape from this prison. For this, he also put a bet of $1 from the warden here. Seeing this, the warden got very angry and he got angry and put Houdini in prison. Actually, Houdini wanted to become famous soon by doing this new stunt. Bess kissed Houdini before leaving here. Seeing this, the warden suspected that he had not caught any pin in his mouth. But nothing happens in Houdini's mouth. After everyone had gone, Houdini took out a needle from his mouth which Bess had put in his mouth, and using it he escaped from prison in a few moments. Houdini became famous overnight with that stunt, due to which many people became crazy about him. After this, he comes again to do an even more difficult prison escape stunt, where his whole body was tied with iron chains, and there was a bandage on his face, but within 5 minutes, Houdini escaped from this prison, as if he had disappeared in the air. After doing many such stunts, he became famous all over the world as Emperor Houdini. One day, while Houdini was buying things for his show, Jim, the owner of the shop, shows him a glass box filled with water. In this box, the magician is locked by hanging upside down, after which the magician tries to get out of there. Seeing this, Houdini said that he also wants to do this stunt once. To try that stunt, Houdini hanged under the water holding his breath for a few minutes. When he signaled to come out, Jim started pulling him out, but at this time the lid of the box was jammed. Seeing that, everyone present there started getting very nervous. Then Jim quickly with an axe broke the glass of that box, because of which Houdini avoided dying here narrowly. A few days later, Houdini was going to do the same stunt in front of the people in his show. He said that if he failed to get out of the water, a man would quickly take an axe and break the glass of the box. After this, Houdini was hung upside down and put inside the box, and a curtain was put around it. After a few minutes, when Houdini did not make any from inside. Then seeing this, all the people present here started nervousness, and their heartbeats started getting faster. Then a man came here who broke the glass of that box with an axe. When that man turned back, everyone came to know that he is Houdini. People had seen such a wonderful feat for the first time, so all the people present here started clapping for him. One day, hearing the news about Houdini, an agent from the US called him to himself. The agent had come to know from some investigation that Houdini had come here by crossing the border illegally, and he is living in the city in an illegal way by fooling the people. But fortunately, Houdini met Sir William. William was a British secret agent. He asked Houdini to live legally in the city by making fake papers, and in return, entrusted him with the task of bringing intelligence to his enemy countries UK and US. On his mission, Houdini comes to Germany to show magic to a Kaiser family, where he stuns everyone with his feat of catching a gunshot. After this, he gave the intelligence found in the Kaiser family house to a man of William. A few days later, Houdini was sent to Russia on a similar mission. Here he asked everyone to write their wishes on a paper. Everyone present here wrote their wishes on that paper, and a girl from his house picked up one paper of them. It was written in that paper that she wants to hear the Kremlin bell ringing. On hearing this, everyone present here starts laughing, because Kremlin bell has never rang for the last 100 years. But Houdini started showing her wonder here. He took out a rope, and as soon as the girl pulled that rope, the Kremlin bell started ringing. Seeing this awesome artwork of Houdini, all the people present here got down on their knees. The next day Houdini meets William, and informs him about the intentions of the Russian. William is very pleased with his work, and he asks Houdini, how did you ring that bell? Houdini told that whatever he had to do there, he had already planned everything. He deliberately placed the paper he had made in front of the girl, and as soon as the girl pulled that rope, Houdini's friend Jim fired at the Kremlin bell, due to which the bell started ringing. William tells Houdini to go to Germany, and after this, the scene shifts in Germany. Houdini is locked in a safe in front of them, to show the stunt to the people of Germany and the officers here, inside which he can only hold his breath for minutes. Everyone present here was thinking that Houdini is locked inside the safe, but in reality he was not in the safe, rather he was entering an office there, and stealing some important documents from there, but then suddenly an officer comes to the office with a woman. Seeing this, Houdini has to quickly hide in the vault present here. Officer sees the safe slightly open, so he locks the safe completely. Although Houdini was an expert in opening locks, but now he was also starting to panic. He thought here in his mind that he is the world's greatest magician, Harry Houdini. He remembered here how many noises had come while locking the safe, and within a few minutes he opened all the locks of the safe and freed himself. Houdini gave all the documents to William, and then he went straight to the stage. Coming on stage, he gave his wife Bess a gift for their wedding anniversary, but Bess did not like that gift at all. After the show, an argument broke out between them. Actually, Bess did not like Houdini to put his life in danger, but Houdini said that he takes great pleasure in showing people such dangerous stunts. One day, Houdini's eyes fall on the ice lying in a glass. Seeing that, he decided to do his next magic with this. After this, he went and lay down in the bathtub, and he told Jim to fill the whole bathtub with ice. After this, the story comes to the same place from where the story started. Standing on the bridge, Houdini was about to jump into that frozen lake. After he jumped, everyone was just looking at him in amazement. Houdini untied all his chains and handcuffs in a few moments under the cold water. After finishing his artwork, he was about to get out of the water. But then the strong current of water turned him astray. He was looking for a way out. That's when he started seeing his mother here. Following his mother's gestures, Houdini escapes from the frozen lake safely. Seeing her husband doing such a dangerous and deadly stunt, Bess was getting upset day by day, due to which their fight started day by day between them. Houdini gets angry and leaves from here. But after some time, he comes back and apologizes to Bess for his behavior. Houdini promises Bess that from now on he will do safe stunts. After this, Houdini does not put himself in danger in his next show, and makes a big elephant disappear in the air in front of the people. Seeing this, all the people present here applauded him a lot, and people also liked this feat of his. After this, British agent asked Houdini to go to Europe again to collect some necessary information, but Houdini now refuses to work. But that British agent does not listen to him and says that this is a very important work which only you can do. Now, even without wanting, Houdini has to go to Europe to show magic in front of Sir Arthur. Houdini stunned everyone by going across a brick wall here. After the show, Arthur met Houdini and praised a lot. But shortly after, Jim comes with a letter which read, "Her mother has died." Upon reading the letter, Houdini faints and falls down. But Bess quickly comes up to him and picks him up. Houdini says that he wants to see his mother one last time. Thereafter, Houdini arrives to meet his mother at her funeral. After the tragedy, Houdini's persona completely changes. He starts getting more involved in movies, but every day he imagines contacting his mother using divine powers. He tries contacting several clairvoyants who claim that they can contact the spirits of dead people. However, all of them turn out to be phony. Enraged, Houdini exposes them and even writes a book about them in AD. One day, Houdini again meets Sir Arthur and his wife Lady Doyle, the latter who claims clairvoyant. Lady Doyle asserts that she can make him contact his mother and prepares for a personal sitting with him. At the same time, a fortune teller arrives, and when Houdini asks her to tell his fortune, she reads his palm and predicts that he will die soon. Thanks for that. Here's $5. Afterward, Houdini is with the Doyle couple, preparing to summon his mother's spirit. Lady Doyle picks a pencil and writes something on a piece of paper, supposedly under the influence of Houdini's mother's spirit. Following the procedure, Houdini becomes happy and thanks Lady Doyle for contacting his mother. Unfortunately, when Houdini examines the texts written by Lady Doyle, he finds them to be fake. He finds clear English writing in the text, while his mother couldn't even speak a word of the language. He also tells Jim that it was his birthday that day and that his mother would never forget that. With this proof, he declares that Lady Doyle is fake and exposes her and Sir Arthur via radio programs and newspaper interviews. He also declares that he will provide $1 to anyone who can make actual contact with his dead mother. In Houdini visits Boston, Massachusetts to meet a notorious clairvoyant who calls herself Marjorie. He attends one of her table sessions and exposes her fakeness. Enraged, Marjorie visits Houdini and his hotel room and tries to seduce him, but to no success. Hence, before leaving, she reminds Houdini that he will die soon, and after that, they will own his spirit. Houdini's next show is scheduled in Detroit, Michigan, where he performs the act of escaping a rectangular box filled with water. Houdini has performed the act on several occasions, but this time he ends up fracturing his ankle. After the performance, a doctor visits him and asks him to take a rest, but Houdini responds that he cannot miss his show and hence decides to continue performing with a broken ankle. Later, while Houdini is with his fans, a guy approaches him and punches him hard in the stomach for speaking against Lady Doyle. Houdini whimpers in pain but doesn't talk about it to Bess or Jim and simply goes to perform his next show. Unfortunately, as he is addressing the audience, he suddenly collapses, prompting Jim to immediately call an ambulance. At the hospital, doctors open up Houdini and discover that he has a ruptured appendix and that he has very little chance of survival. One of the doctors approaches Houdini and breaks the bad news to him. He also talks about how Houdini is a great performer who made millions of people forget their misery. On the other hand, Bess and Jim also learn about the news and become devastated. And in no time, the news spreads like wildfire, and Bess receives a number of letters expressing concerns about Houdini's health condition. The kind gestures move her, and she finally realizes the happiness or has been brought to millions of people all around the world. Unfortunately, Houdini dies at the early age while visioning his mother in one of the nurses who looked after him. The whole world mourns over the death of the great Houdini. The movie ends with Reverend Arthur Ford, the first spiritualist in the Church of New York, inviting Mrs. Houdini for one of their sessions to try and make contact with Harry Houdini. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.